rise in tourism does not automatically create new hotels, resorts, and visitor infrastructure. For that growth to translate into physical capacity, businesses need long-term capital. Hotels need money to buy land, construct rooms, renovate properties, refinance existing debt, and fund projects until they begin generating cash. This is where Tourism Finance Corporation of India, or TFCI, becomes relevant. TFCI is not the lending arm of the Ministry of Tourism. It is a specialized non-banking financial institution that began operations in 1989 with the objective of providing finance and advisory services to the tourism sector. Its current mandate has expanded beyond tourism into real estate, infrastructure, manufacturing, and financial services. Within tourism and hospitality, TFCI provides term loans for setting up hotels, resorts, motels, health resorts, apartment hotels, guest houses, and restaurant chains. It can also finance the expansion, renovation, modernization, and acquisition of existing properties. Its offerings include last-mile finance for projects under construction, refinancing of existing loans, and special situation funding for turnaround cases. TFCI also provides advisory services, project feasibility reports, market surveys, and debt syndication services. The role is therefore broader than simply giving a loan to a hotel. TFCI can assess whether a proposed tourism project is commercially viable, structure its financing, and help arrange capital from other lenders. TFCI first raises money through sources such as bank borrowings, bonds, and its own internal funds. It then lends this capital to selected borrowers. The borrower pays interest to TFCI and repays the principal over the agreed tenure. The difference between what TFCI earns from its lending assets and what it pays for its funding contributes to its interest income and profitability. As of 30th June 2026, TFCI reported total borrowing of approximately 1,028.82 crore, a gross loan book of 1,901.55 crore, and gross assets under management of 2,002.05 crore. The difference between the loan book and total AUM primarily included approximately 100.50 crore of project-related non-convertible debentures. But lending to a hotel is different from giving a small consumer loan. A hotel may take several years to construct and stabilize. Its revenue can depend on location, room rates, occupancy, seasonality, connectivity, and the type of traveler visiting the destination. TFCI states that it uses credit appraisal, sensitivity analysis, and continuous project monitoring to manage this risk. It also assesses the borrower's experience and project's ability to withstand changes in costs and operating conditions. This process matters because tourism demand may be growing naturally, while an individual hotel project can still fail because of the wrong location or excessive debt, construction delays, or unrealistic occupancy assumptions. The company's name may suggest that its entire loan book is connected to tourism. That is no longer the case. As of June 2026, hotels accounted for 47% of TFCI's loan portfolio. Real estate represented 24%, manufacturing 12%, infrastructure and social infrastructure 7%, NBFC exposure 6%, and asset reconstruction companies and other financial companies are 4%. This diversification can reduce dependence on one industry. But it also means that TFCI's growth cannot be treated as pure measure of India's tourism financing deployment. The company has 56 borrowers in its loan portfolio and 7 borrowers in its project-related NCD portfolio as of June 2026. Compared to June 2025, TFCI's gross AUM increased by 17%, while its gross loan book increased by 7%. However, the figures declined from March 2026. Gross AUM reduced from approximately 2,188.87 crore in March to 2,002.05 crore in June. The gross loan book declined from 2,088.14 crore to 1,901.55 crore during the same period. The correct interpretation is that TFCI has grown year on year, but the expansion has not followed a straight line every quarter. Repayments, prepayments, fresh disbursements, and the timing of large project loans can all change the loan book between two reporting dates. Asset quality remained relatively controlled. TFCI reported gross non-performing loans of 0.41% and net non-performing loans of nil as of June 2026. These numbers were low, but they do not remove future credit risk because project finance loans can take time to show stress. The lending opportunity exists because domestic travel in India is expanding rapidly. India recorded approximately 294.82 crore domestic tourist visits in 2024 compared with 250.88 crore in 2023. This represented a growth of 70.51% in 1 year. Domestic tourist visits have recorded a compound annual growth rate of 9.89% between 2011 and 2024, despite the severe pandemic disruption. These figures represent visits recorded by states and union territories, not the number of unique individuals traveling. One person visiting multiple destinations can generate multiple tourist visits. In 2024, Uttar Pradesh recorded approximately 64.68 crore domestic visits, followed by Tamil Nadu at 30.68 crore, Karnataka at 30.46 crore, Andhra Pradesh at 29.03 crore, and Rajasthan at 23.01 crore. Together, these 5 states accounted for more than 60% of domestic tourist visits. The sector's wider economic contribution is also significant. According to provisional government estimates, tourism contributed approximately Rs 15.73 lakh crore on 5.22% to India's GDP in 2023-24. The government estimated 36.9 million direct jobs and 47.72 million indirect jobs connected to the sector. International tourism has also recovered, but its recent trajectory has been less consistent than domestic travel. India recorded 20.57 million international tourist travelers in 2024, up 8.9% over 2023 and nearly 15% above 2009. However, provisional international arrivals declined by 2.4% to 20.09 million in 2025. This makes domestic tourism a particularly important demand engine for India's hotels, transport operators, restaurants, and destination businesses. More domestic travel can raise demand for hotel rooms in religious centers, business hubs, leisure destinations, smaller cities, and emerging tourism circuits. Existing hotels may need capital to add rooms, improve facilities, or reposition themselves for new categories of travelers. Incomplete projects may require last-mile funding before they can begin operations. Older properties may need renovation to remain competitive. Government residential development schemes can improve public infrastructure and connectivity, while lenders such as TFCI finance commercially viable private sector projects. The two functions are different, but connected. The government develops destinations and supporting infrastructure, while financial institutions help businesses build the accommodation and service required by travelers. TFCI represents a financing layer within India's tourism story. Its role is to convert selected tourism opportunities into financeable projects without compromising credit quality. But rising tourist visits alone do not guarantee faster room growth or higher profits. You need to track the share of hotel financing in TFCI's portfolio, fresh disbursements, loan book growth, borrowing costs, project execution, and non-performing assets. India's domestic tourism market is expanding. The financial opportunity will depend on how effectively that demand is converted into viable profits, resorts, and tourism infrastructure. Follow Chola Securities for more such updates.
This content is for informational purposes only. None of the companies, products, or sectors mentioned are recommendations.